Good afternoon. DW, Pastor Barry here. We're going to read the third chapter of Esther this afternoon. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm still fighting this junk. I'm so tired of it. Been blowing my nose like crazy, and it's already been a week of having this bad stuff. I don't want it. Never did. It's got to go in Jesus' name, especially before Thanksgiving this coming Thursday. Well, that's a Temu tie. Some people say Timu. I say Temu because I heard it pronounced once. It's a Chinese company. I've gotten lots of things from them over the years, but this was one of the better ties. I kind of liked it. Just got it in the mail yesterday, so I'm a happy customer. Thought I'd sport it for church today, and then, of course, for its first video. We're in the Beside the Still Waters devotional here this afternoon. This is day 19. This one's called Pepper's Philosophy. I don't know who Pepper is. The author is Gary Miller of Pentago, New York. I knew a Gary Miller. It wasn't him, though. I grew up with him back in Canada. Gary Miller. That's funny. I had an Uncle Gary that passed away, I want to say early 2018 or late 2017. I can't remember now, but I believe I was in Kentucky when it happened. Okay, 3 John 9 says, I wrote unto the church by Diotrephes, who loveth to have the preeminence among them, receiveth us not. That was negative. Grab whatever Bible version you want to use. I have the Modern English one to make it simpler. With less explanation, it's pretty straightforward. Esther chapter 3, starting with the first verse. And there's a certain young lady that I know who gave her life to the Lord this morning. And I know that heaven rejoiced, and I rejoiced for her. So that's definitely some incredible news. Haman plots to destroy the Jews. This was a very important piece of Jewish history right here. Let's read chapter 3, verse 1. After these things, King Ahasuerus praised Haman, the son of, here we go with the names, Hammedatha, the Agagite, and promoted him, and set his seat above all the officials who were with him. All the king's servants, when they were at the king's gate, bowed or paid homage to Haman, since the king had commanded it. Mordecai, however, never bowed or paid homage. So the king's servants tended the king's gate. So the king's servants, tending the king's gate, said to Mordecai, Why are you transgressing the king's commandment? Though they spoke to him daily, he never listened to them. So they reported it to Haman to see if the words of Mordecai would stand. For Mordecai had told them that he was a Jew. When Haman saw that Mordecai neither bowed nor paid him homage, he was filled with rage. But he disdained to lay hands on only Mordecai, since they had told him of the people of Mordecai. So Haman sought to destroy all the Jews throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus. In the first month, which is the month Nisan, in the 12th year of King Ahasuerus, they cast that is, cast lots, before Haman daily, and each month, until the 12th month, which is the month Adar, to determine the time. Then Haman said to King Ahasuerus, There exists a scattered people dispersed among other peoples in all the provinces of your kingdom. Their laws are different from all others, and they are not complying with the king's laws. So there may be a suitable reason for the king to allow them to exist. If it pleases the king, may it be written that they are to be destroyed. And may there be 10,000 talents of silver deposited into the king's treasury, so that I may distribute it to the hands of those doing the work. This is a conspiracy, people. Evil. Evil being spoken of and planned in the darkness. Same thing happens today. The king took his signet ring from his hand and gave it to Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite. the enemy of the Jews. The king said to Haman, "The silver has been granted to you, as have the people. So do with each as it pleases you." Then the king's scribes were summoned on the 13th day of the first month, and a decree was written just as Haman had commanded to the king's satraps, and to the governors over each province, and to the officials of all peoples, and to every province according to its own script, and to every people in their language. It was written in the name of the king Ahasuerus, and sealed with the king's signet ring. The letters were sent by mounted couriers into all the king's provinces to cause the destruction, slaughter, and annihilation of all Jews. It's like the Holocaust, right? Both young and old, little children and women, in one day, the 13th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar, and even to plunder their possessions. A copy of the document, issued as law in every province, was proclaimed, calling for all people to be ready for the day. The couriers went out, being hastened to the king's command at the citadel of Susa. When the decree was issued, the king and Haman sat down to drink, but the city of Susa was in uproar. It's a good story. You got to go read all of Esther. Pepper's philosophy. Let's take a look. Pepper is a fat little chihuahua. Well, that's good to know. Like humans, his priorities are governed by his philosophy of life. It is a very simple philosophy that can be stated in 2 short words. Me first. Pepper has worked out the application of his philosophy in 2 simple rules, which he makes sure that all the cats understand. The first rule is that Pepper gets the largest and choicest portion of whatever is being served. The second rule is that Pepper will consume his portion as quickly as possible, and then rush to salvage whatever morsels the cats have not yet eaten. One day, I gave the pets a few bits of grilled steak that were left over from our evening meal the day before. Pepper's keen nose identified my gift for the rarity it was, and he decided at once that this food was much too fine to be wasted on cats. When I tossed him his piece, he wolfed it with incredible speed, not bothering to chew it or even taste it. His subsequent choking, wheezing, and coughing did not deter him from trying to intercept the pieces being thrown to the cats. Why didn't Pepper take his piece off to a secluded corner? There he could have lain down, held it between his paws, and savored his delicacy for several minutes. The delicious aroma of grilled steak, as smelled by a dog's sensitive nose, may even surpass the enjoyment we humans experience. But Pepper's priorities prevent such a positive outcome. He is defeated time and again by his selfish philosophy. What governs my priorities? Do I do all for the glory of God? Do I care deeply for my fellow man? Or do I share Pepper's philosophy? No matter what I say, my actions reveal the truth. All right, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm still trying to find the correlation between Esther and that. Maybe I missed it, but that's okay. I think I sort of get it. At the bottom it says, if I must be first, my plight is the worst. All right. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday and the rest of your weekend. I will see you in the next Beside the Still Waters Devotional.